today what we're going to be working on is some really big gas piping on a boiler system that heats a church. So we got Simeon along for the day. I decided that he needed to help me loosen some of the really tight fittings, and he didn't say no. I'm wearing these sunglasses because, as you can see, it's like really wide out. You have a look through the glasses. It helps a fair amount, I would say. We're driving slow because the roads are icy. You can see people were like driving all over the place. There's our dad. Now he knows how slow we are. It took us this long to get from the shop to here. I hope he's not ashamed of us. Do you think he's ashamed of us?
Hope not.
As you can see, there's a bunch of road rooter machines. Boop, 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 boop. And we're going to unload them at this house. And then our coworker, who is currently cleaning a different drain or plumbing or something, is going to come over here and work on it. Then we're going to move on to the project we're actually going to do. So first thing we're going to check to make sure that the gas going into the building is actually turned off. That it is. So here's the gas line coming up right here. This is their valve. This is at a higher pressure. Then it goes through their meter that they just installed and into the building. So they just left it off right here. And that's why we have this huge 2-inch line, because since it's a lower pressure than what's coming into the building, it has to be larger to satisfy the demand inside the building. After they replaced the meter, they checked for leaks, and they checked for leaks and found that there was a leak on one of the fittings, which is why we're here. So we are down in the boiler room. This is the old boiler that this system is feeding. This thing is actually over 1 million BTUs. It's 1,206,400, which is crazy. A lot of the time you have to heat the fittings in order to get them apart. Check out this like old welded fitting that they made so they could reduce it. So first thing we're gonna do is confirm that there actually is a leak there using some bubbles. I've had it before where the gas company says there's a leak and then there's actually no leak. That's only actually happened once, but still, before we take all this apart, it's gonna be preferable that we do it this way. Gas leak is here on this large fitting. Let me just apply a little bit more soap so you can see very clearly what we're talking about here. See it bubbling? Very minuscule. A leak nonetheless. It is pretty obvious though. It's definitely a leak. I mean, that's undeniably a little leak. If we try to light it though, the gas is turned off. This is just residual pressure in the line. You can see that the leak is too small to actually sustain any flame. First, we'll have to take this 90 off, and in order to take that 90 off, you have to take this pipe off. And in order to take that pipe off, you have to take this pipe off. And in order to take this pipe off, you have to take that pipe off. And in order to take that pipe off, you have to get a brother to help you take that pipe off. We're definitely not going to move this valve. This is what's known as a grease valve, and they are known to leak after you turn them. So whenever you encounter one of these, unless you absolutely have to turn it, don't turn it. Because if you do, you have to check it for leaks, and if it has any leaks, you have to replace it. So we're not going to turn that if we don't have to. So go ahead and grab the pipe wrenches. Buddy old pal. Now this tightens on here this direction, so we're gonna obviously be pushing it the opposite, but it's important to keep this from twisting. Second wrench. That's perfect. Do you hear it hissing? Listen, is she hissing? Ooh, it smells gassy. Somebody get me a match. Just kidding. You wouldn't want to light a match right here right now. Yeah, it smells a little gassy. Okay. I like to stick my hand over it, especially on these larger lines, for a moment, and then move it off. Make sure that there's not a puff of gas, because by doing that, I know there's not any more pressure coming in the line, at least not quickly. Probably are gonna have to heat this one. Glad that didn't knock anyone's teeth out. So that seemed pretty tight, so what we're gonna do is heat this connection. I usually check if it's sizzling hot, and then that's how I judge if it got cooked long enough. This one's really tight, Simeon. I've not gotten it to budge. We want this. I heated, so this is hot up here, so careful. I want you to hold this wrench. Oh, did it move?
Yeah, it did.
Yes. I'm not even. Great. Oh, just keep doing what you're doing. That's really good. It's a lot heavier than I expected. It smells like melted crayons, doesn't it?
I guess.
Okay, nice. You can come back down. So next fitting we got to spin out is that one right there. But first we're gonna strap this pipe up, probably right here. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That one ought to be strong enough.
Hopefully.
Apparently they have a smoke alarm in here. Be silenced. You are
Going to be put on timeout.
okay. We've got a little bit of room to turn it right here, pulling it straight down like this. No. I just had a drop of something drip in my mouth that was sweet tasting, which is not good. It means it's antifreeze. How did it drip straight in my mouth though? Look. Do you see what I see? Maybe it's that stuff. Oh, that's actually the bubbled stuff. Tastes sweet too, because it has propylene glycol in it. I was like, oh no, the boiler's leaking because something tasty dripped in my mouth. Yep, look, propylene glycol. It's so that it doesn't freeze, but it's also a sugar technically. But you're not really supposed to eat it, so don't drink the leak detector. Oh, it tastes gross. It tastes like bubbles, like the kind that you get in kindergarten.
It turned a tiny.
Did it really?
Oh, it felt like a little.
I think it just. Oh, it did turn a little bit. Should be able to see just a tiny bit of rotation on there. Oh.
Will it catch itself or is it gonna fall?
See that bungee strap that I put on it? So I think it'll stay there. I think that bungee cord is strong enough. I just drew a line on it with chalk, even with the cast mark, so that I can know exactly what angle it needs to be. Ouch! That little flake of stuff is kind of hot. It fell on my hand. Good news is that appears to be coming off pretty good. There's the culprit. Actually, I don't know where the culprit is. Probably the guy who didn't put enough pipe dope on the pipe 60 years ago. Those all came apart surprisingly well.
Yeah, that one did.
But it was really nice having two people. I think it would have not been as easy had there just been one of us. That thing is hot though, so we're gonna have to let this thing cool down. And I think I want it to just cool down pretty much naturally, because I don't want to shock it. And then we've shocked fittings before, like cooled them down quickly. Sometimes it cracks them because they're made out of machined cast a lot of the time. So we're just gonna let it cool down for a little bit, and we're just putting copious amounts of pipe dope, making sure it gets massaged deep down into the threads. It's the one that was leaking, so we want to use lots of pipe dope. Go check how warm the 90 is though. It's still pretty warm. Alright, how warm is the 90 now? Can you hand it to me? Too hot, cold?
Pretty much, yeah.
We will also probably put just a touch of pipe dope on this sealing surface. Yeah, you're right. This is still pretty warm. I think we're gonna call that good right there. Do you think it's gonna leak? Say no!
Nay.
Do you think it's gonna leak?
Nay.
Do you think it's gonna leak?
No.
Good. Because since you think it's not gonna leak, we're gonna keep going. You regret saying that now?
I hope it's not gonna leak.
I'll get it off. It's okay, it's good for your skin. Maybe. Wow. See if you can tell me exactly when to stop. I want this to be. I hope it's getting close. Is it? Lift this. Feel how heavy it is. Pipe that sticks out right there. And this is where I dropped the wrench earlier. So beware. Because I might drop a wrench on your head. This is called the rib push. Okay, I think that's it. It's just gonna get squished out of the way when the metals smoosh against one another. I also like to put a little bit on these threads because it seems like pipe dope, although it does a lot of sealing, it also seems like it helps take the fittings apart later. Alright, gas is back on. And we wanted to turn on the gas and then come down here and be able to loosen this. You hear any hissing?
Yeah.
Smells like corn nuts. Ugh. Okay, that's enough. Oh, okay, yep. Definitely the gas is there now. Alright. Get the mirror out of the tool bag, please. Just a matter of soaping them and looking them over, making sure you don't got any bubbles forming. Key is to just go slow and be detailed. Alright, let's turn the boiler on. We just let some gas bleed through that line. They probably just flipped this switch. This thing, when it lights, is scary. It has a pilot that lights right here. And then it lights all those burners, and it's really cool looking and also really scary. Flip the switch to on. It's gonna say, oh, there's a call for heat. So when it lights the pilot. Come on. See, it's getting like a little cloud of flame, really light flame. That means there's finally gas starting to get there that is ready to, it's getting close. Keep going, come on, you can do it. There it is, now it's gonna light. Oh. Isn't that cool? Oh, it's so cool. Oh man, you can feel the heat. Oh, I can see it. It's a lot of BTUs. Let's make it light one more time just because it's that awesome. Wow. Not bad. Still a pain for such a tiny leak, but hey, had to happen, so. Anyway, hope that you found this video interesting and helpful in working on some big fittings. And that's really pretty much it. That was our adventure to a service call today. Anyway, this one's done, so talk to you later.